All right, everybody grab some more water bottles. And the first thing you have to do is tear off the label. Can you tear off the label? You can do that. If you can't do it, we'll get you some scissors.
Scissors, we're going to have to cut all those.
Oh, yeah. Peanut butter reaction.
That's part of the craft.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Want me to help you with this? Okay. Once it starts.
That's the wicked witch. Your mom is very creative.
Mom, this is my run! Moms and dads, if you can help cut their peel. We've got another thing of scissors.
My hat's full of you. Here's one the wicked witch.
Excellent. Now, once you get your label off, you need to do something. Don't pour water on your friends.
Pass one more bottle. Don't forget, Brian.
Hey, Ryan, grab me another bottle there.
The wicked witch will help you with my.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
All right, you're going to pour out
Just needs one.
just to there. You're going to pour out so the water comes right to there, okay?
That line.
Don't pour it on your friend, pour it on the ground. You can drink it too. Actually, it's Aquafina. You might want to.
You need a bottle, John. Does your mom have your bottle?
The witch is helping him get his label.
Just this much left.
I don't think good, guys. I don't want you to pour it out or you can drink
Now, this is hard opening.
You can take a sip. You want to take a sip?
Mom, I tried to
You
use my
said just down to the drink some, and then you can pour the rest out. That's good, that's good. Mommy has water if you need it.
All right, now, with your parents' help, we need to put some dishwashing detergent, green dishwashing detergent in the thing. I'd say about
Drink another sip and then pour more out.
that much.
Drink a little, another sip. Drink a little more. Oh, I think that might be
Just
enough.
a little bit.
got 2 things.
You said just
And then a little bit of oil, maybe a little bit of vinegar.
my concern is that we'll just go to potty. I'm sure there's something in the church open.
And the next thing you need to do, everybody have that?
No.
All right, let's go down to room here. Put some.
That's okay. It's just water.
You don't need to put the top on yet, sweetie. We're not done. Okay, well, just wait a second.
Probably not.
Just throw it in there. Yeah, it's like a tablespoon.
Blake, can you pass it
All right, once you have the vinegar and then I need you to grab just a tiny bit of glitter and put it in. I'll show you how much. Just a pinch. Okay.
Vinegar? Here you go. No, we have vinegar. You got vinegar. Who needs vinegar? Ben and Zach, you need vinegar?
That is making yours happen. That is making yours.
Do you get vinegar down here?
Can you get some in your? No?
All right, next thing that goes in after the glitter. You got glitter. You have any glitter yet?
I'm coming.
All right, pass around the glitter. Yep. Now, we need a Dorothy house. Dorothy house. Yep. You go ahead and drop it in. Everybody have glitter?
Okay, guys. Get you some houses.
50, okay, I'm working on it. 50, yes. Need a lift for that?
Yes. Hold on.
We made a tornado.
Now I've got extra houses. Do we have enough houses?
Okay, well,
Are there any extra Look, it's going in the toilet.
Susan, I got the extra houses, honey. Thank you.
All right, and as you swirl it, you have to say.
Dorothy's house way out of sight. Look at it.
It's a twister! It's a twister!
You just gotta go really fast. You're gonna smell like vinegar.
Mine's going I need to get mine up.
Go bathroom worms. Or outside.
Megan, do you have a tornado?
I got a tornado.
Oh, you did?
I have a tornado.
It's supposed to be Dorothy Collins.
No, we're talking to the Wicked
I got a
Witch.
tornado.
She's right over here, Brian.
Right here, behind
Right
the
over
tree.
there. She's with the
Taking
Wicked
a
Witch.
break?
She's with the Wicked Witch.
Is the experiment over? I did it. Where's guessing? Where's guessing? He's already out.
Jesse's over there.
I'm gonna go with Jesse. Mama, I'm going with... Ladies and gentlemen, mothers and fathers, dogs and lions. First of all, I would like to welcome you to the land of Oz. Thank you so much for coming today to come on a journey for Houston's birthday. In case you don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but I'm Glinda, the good witch of the north, as opposed to the wicked witches of the east and the west. I'm Glinda, and I'm going to take you on a journey today with me. Some of you might know a very special story that happened in our land not long ago. A story about a little girl named Dorothy. I'd like you to come along with us today and tell you this wonderful story that I've... Can we put our tornadoes down? I'm going... You need your tornadoes. You're going to need... I'm going to need your help in order to tell the story today. And you're going to need to watch out very carefully because there are some things that you're going to need. In fact, the first thing you're going to need is a basket. Stay right there. My dress is always... Everybody take a basket. Dorothy's going to use... Dorothy's going to use... Someone, let's take Dorothy's total basket. You're going to use baskets. Big girls and little girls. Big boys, little boys. Because you're going to need something to collect. Some special things that you'll get along the way. I have one. Somebody in CJ needs a basket. Let me give you a
Thank you.
You might need your heart.
A couple more inside. Boys and girls, once upon a time, this young girl named Dorothy that I was telling you of lived on a farm with her Aunt Em and her Uncle Henry. They lived in a place called Kansas. Now, Kansas was a lovely place, but it was a little bit dreary, a little bit drab. Not much ever happened in Kansas. And sometimes Dorothy would feel like she was in the way. In fact, one day her Auntie Em asked her to run off somewhere where she wouldn't get into any trouble. Well, Dorothy wondered where such a place like that might be. And she wished that there was a beautiful place she could visit, someplace over the rainbow. The yellow brick road is blowing away. We're going to listen. Dorothy sang a song.
The only reason I've not heard it.
Somewhere over the rainbow. All right, that was taking a little bit long. She sings. Somewhere over the rainbow. If you know the song, can you sing it? There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. So that was Dorothy's dream, to go somewhere over the rainbow. Well, lo and behold, she got her chance. Because that very afternoon, a terrible storm came across the Kansas prairie. A storm with a tornado. A tornado that whirled, the winds whirled around, picked up everything in their path. Can you whirl your tornadoes for me? And show me what the tornado sounded like. The tornado with her Aunt Em and Uncle Henry. She and Toto were trapped in their house. The tornado picked her house up just like your little houses here in your tornadoes and whirled it through the air. Come! Whirled it through the air for miles and miles. Sorry, Dorothy. Beautiful place. A place with every color of the rainbow. And the strangest thing, the land, she was in a wonderful, beautiful place like she had never seen before. And she looked out and she saw everywhere tiny houses all around. And when she walked out of her house with Toto in the basket, she thought she could hear little giggling coming from places, but every time she turned around, nobody would be there. Then she thought she saw little faces peeking out, but every time she would turn around, they would be gone. Well, then lo and behold, all of a sudden, there were bubbles. Your first special thing to collect on your journey is your bubbles. Somebody has my basket of bubbles. Everybody take a bubble. We're going to act out this. This is the kind of thing, Belle, you would be a helper for me. Belle and Ryan acting out, passing out bubbles. Could you take the basket and passing out for me? Everybody needs a mom. Can you guys help your little ones? Watch your little ones, please, and help along the way. Everybody needs a bubble. And I want you to all blow your bubbles. Because that's what Dorothy saw. All of a sudden, bubbles were blowing in. And finally, one gigantic bubble. Bubbles! One gigantic bubble blew in, and guess who that was? That was me! I always travel by bubble. It's the best way to go, I say.
Well, we can't.
I came to Dorothy and I explained to her that her house had set her down in a special place called Munchkin Land. This was the land of the Munchkins, a kind and gentle little people who had been under the rule of a wicked witch of the East for such a long time. But lo and behold, when Dorothy's house dropped out of the clouds, it landed on the wicked witch of the East and killed her. Sure enough.
Who killed my sister? Did you kill my sister?
And before she knew it, there was another witch. Dorothy said, I thought you said the wicked witch was killed. And I said, well, that was the other one. This is her sister, the wicked witch of the West. She's much worse than the other one. Some of you might not have noticed there's a witch's feet under Dorothy's house.
I need the slippers.
Oh, no. You may not have those ruby slippers. And before she knew it, the wicked witch of the West went to take the ruby slippers off the feet, and they disappeared and ended up on Dorothy's feet.
The slippers, I need them. Give me back my slippers.
Oh, you hold tight into them. They must be very powerful, or she wouldn't want them so badly. You be gone. You have no power here. Be gone before someone drops a house on you.
Somebody knows the Wizard of Oz.
All of you, I'll get you.
And with that, she was gone. Dorothy didn't know what to make of all this, but she asked me how was she ever to get home. She was afraid of the witch. She simply wanted to go home to Aunt Em and Uncle Henry. On to the next one. The next song followed the other. And I explained to her that the only way that I knew that she could possibly get home was to take a journey through the land of Oz to the wonderful, great, and powerful Wizard of Oz. That if she could find him in the Emerald City, that maybe he could give her the way to go home to Kansas. So I sent her off. As the Munchkins told her, the yellow brick road started in Munchkin Land and wove all the way through the land of Oz. And they sang a song to her. Come on, follow the yellow brick road. I want you to all say with me. Can you say, Dorothy, follow the yellow brick road?
Miracle, what happened was just this.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow Follow the yellow brick road. Where is the yellow brick?
But little did she know things are different in the land of Oz. Scarecrows do talk. Now this is the part I need you to do with me. The Scarecrow said to her, I want you to practice this. Now some people go this way. You say that? Put your hand out. Some people go this way. And some people like to go this way. Then again, some people do like to go both ways. And when she heard that, when the Scarecrow said that, she turned around and she caught him, and she saw that he was real and he could talk just like a person. Well, the Scarecrow told her that his fondest dream in all of life had always been to have a brain.
I could while away the hours, and turn the bread to flour, consult the wind to rain. And my kid, I'd be scratching my
basket broke. Who needs another one?
I'd unravel every riddle.
If I only had a brain, said the Scarecrow, he would know how to do anything in life. So Dorothy invited him to come along with her. She said, why, surely if the wonderful Wizard of Oz can get me home to Kansas, he could give you a brain. And so he took off. Yes, he said he'd go with her.
I could think of things I
And
never
off
thought before.
they went.
And then I'd sit and think some more.
Bring the Scarecrow
I would
for
not
me.
be just a number. My head all full of stuff.
And then they took off together and sang.
I would dance and be merry. Life would be
The
a
Wizard of
ding-a-dairy if I
Off to
only
see
had
the
a brain.
Off to see the wizard. And there they were, frozen and resting next to a tree.
Larry, come
He spoke to them. They tried to understand what it was he was saying. He says oil can, said Dorothy. And they looked around, and they found a little can sitting next to him. And they began to oil, and they oiled his mouth. Oiled his mouth? And he started to move his mouth, and then he could talk. Oil my arms, please, he said.
Oil my elbows.
Elbows and legs. Before they knew it, they had all his joints oiled, and he was able to move and walk around. The poor Tin Man told them that he'd been standing there for over a year. He told them how the Wicked Witch of the West, remember we met her, how she had turned him into tin. Many years ago, after he had fallen in love with a Munchkin girl that the Wicked Witch didn't want him to be in love with. And the only sad thing to him about being a man of tin was that he had no heart inside to feel love. And he'd been outside doing his Tin Woodman job a year ago or so when it began to rain, and before he knew it, he was completely rusted and had been standing there rusted and frozen for all that time until Dorothy and the Scarecrow discovered him. Well, of course, the Tin Woodman sang to them and told them of his wish for a heart, if he only had a heart. And then they invited him to come along, too, on their journey to see the Wizard of Oz. For surely if the wonderful Wizard of Oz could get Dorothy home to Kansas and could give the Scarecrow a brain, why, it would be easy for him to give the Tin Man a heart. They took off together again along the yellow brick road.
I could be fine as a woman if I only had a heart. I'd be tender, I'd be gentle.
Looks like a part of the forest where there might be lions or tigers or bears.
Oh my!
And they sang a song. Can you say that with me? So we go lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! 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 Lions and tigers. Just before you go into the Emerald City, Emerald City necklaces here. And then you'll hold up your basket, and my Emerald resident here, Emerald City resident, can give everybody your very own emerald. Because everyone in the Emerald City has their very own emerald, I assure you. Well, boys and girls, they were ushered into the Emerald City. I want to make everyone have a necklace. And get your emeralds. Just before they went into the Emerald City, they looked up and they saw the Wicked Witch flying on her broomstick in the sky, writing up in the sky, "Surrender, Dorothy!" Oh, they were so frightened. The people in the Emerald City were frightened, and they didn't know what to do except to go on and try to see the Winnerly into the throne room. They had finally reached the destination of their journey, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. They were all...
I am Oz, the great and powerful. Who are you? Who are you?
All they could see was a giant head floating up above a throne and heard that voice calling out to them. Well, Dorothy stepped forward with her knees shaking and she answered him, "I am Dorothy, the small and meek." And they began to tell the wizard about their wishes. The Scarecrow came up and the Tin Man and the Lion and asked him, "Please, oh wonderful, powerful, great and powerful Wizard of Oz, could she get home to Kansas? Could the Scarecrow get a brain? Could the Tin Man get a heart? Could the Cowardly Lion have courage?"
You must prove yourself worthy by performing a very small task. Bring me the broomstick of the Witch of the West.
The broomstick of the Witch of the West!
Bring me her broomstick and I'll grant your request.
But...
I said go!
Go! And they ran out of the Emerald City. They were frightened. How in the world? Back off on the yellow brick road towards the wizard, where the land where they had told them, someone in the Emerald City had told them the land of the West, where the Wicked Witch's castle was. But before they knew it, the Wicked Witch had been watching them in her crystal ball, and she sent her winged monkeys to hurt them, to hurt the lion and tear the Scarecrow up all to pieces. And Dorothy, before they knew it, the Wicked Witch swept in.
I need my slippers.
And took Dorothy away!
Now we gotta run after Dorothy.
Things were getting pretty terrible now.
Shit was
You're right, Dan. That's what they decided, even though they were so terrified. The Scarecrow and the Tin Man and even the Cowardly Lion showed such bravery, they decided that they were going to go into the castle no matter what it took them, and they were going to get Dorothy back. So on they went to the witch's castle. They got past the witch's door. Well, lo and behold, the witch and her guards found them and chased them all through the castle until they got to a dead end. They looked around. There was no door to the right, no door to the left, nothing up above, nothing down below. They were absolutely trapped. And then the witch came up to the Scarecrow and she said, "Oh," she said, she's a horrible wicked witch, she is. She said to Dorothy, "You can watch the first, the last to go will watch the first three go before her. Here, Scarecrow, care for a little fire?" And she lit her broom on fire, held it up to the Scarecrow. Of course, his straw caught on fire immediately. Poor Dorothy looked around. She was so frightened for her friend. She looked around, the nearest thing she could see a bucket of water, and threw it on the Scarecrow. Oh! But it got the Wicked Witch too. did not know that wicked witches can be melted by pure